The reason why I'm buying HBAR over XLM is because I like its room for growth just a tad bit better. And even though nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, here's my rationale, right? If HBAR were to go to the price of $3, that right there is around a 20x from here. And at that point, market cap, considering current circulating supply, would be around $115 billion. So it's not so bad. We've seen BNB reach over $100 billion in market cap. Also on top of that, we take a look at Ethereum reached over $550 billion at one point. So I don't think there's too much to ask for. But even besides that point, on the flip side, if let's say XLM were to do a 20x from here, the price would be $10.40, around that, right? And the market cap would be around $312 billion considering current circulating supply. Now, do I think that this is something too crazy for XLM to achieve? I don't think so, but I don't think XLM could exceed over $10 during this bull run. My prediction is like anywhere between $5 to $8, right? But when it comes to HBAR, I think that in order for it to do a 20x, it's just that the market cap it would need to have at that point is just way lower than something like XLM. Now, does Hedera have the fans or hype like a Stellar, for instance? I think no. I think Stellar is a lot better, but still, even despite that, I don't think XLM could do over $10, right? I think like anywhere between $5 to $8 is my prediction. So if I can only bank on one project, let's say doing a 20x, for instance, during this bull run, I think hands down, HBAR hypothetically, has that, in this category in terms of being the winner. Now, I'm not saying that Stellar is bad by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that XLM is caca. Again, I'm not saying that whatsoever. Exposure is fantastic. Also on top of that, the fans, the community is a lot better. But then naturally, because HBAR is just something that's much lower, I think because of that, again, room for growth, I think, is arguably a lot better. And now, this is no insult on the Stellar blockchain, by the way, because the Stellar blockchain is notoriously known for its amazing lightning fast speed. That's no secret, right? It's very fantastic in my opinion. But when it comes to Hedera, here's where things get a little bit more exciting in terms of the fundamentals, because Hedera doesn't utilize traditional blockchain technology. Hedera Hashgraph is actually a DAG, a directed acyclic graph, which is, a lot better arguably than traditional blockchain technology. It's been noted that usually it's a lot faster, usually also on top of that has improved data storage, also typically consumes way less energy as well. For instance, right, Hedera per transaction on average consumes less energy than like Cardano, Ethereum. You take a look at, Solana and many others. So when I take a look at something like Hedera, I do think it's rock solid. Again, nothing necessarily wrong with Stellar. It's very amazing, but I do believe that Hedera just has that special added sauce in a sense, because if you actually take a look at it, Hedera's native services can reliably scale up to 10,000 transactions per second and even beyond, which again means that, it's very scalable, just a very fancy way of saying that. Not to mention its governing council is A+. There's allegedly over 35 members as of right now, which by the way includes giants like LG, Ubisoft, Boeing. And yeah, you heard that right. I'm talking about like Boeing, like the airplane. Also Mondelez. And Mondelez, by the way, their brands includes like Oreo, Cliff. So that right there is very impressive. Not to mention you take a look at even Google. I mean, can you imagine that? That's how amazing Hedera is. And do you think Hedera is going to fail? Personally, if someone were to ask me that, I would say 99.999% no. Because if you take a look at, these large-scale enterprises that are part of, Hedera's governing council, do you think they would allow something like Hedera to fail? I mean, like any of them, right? Any of the 35 plus members, they could easily just like rescue Hedera, just like boom, like that. You know what I mean? Like Thanos style, For them, billions upon billions of dollars isn't really like a big deal. Other projects out there that aren't really backed by amazing, enterprises, I would say, like they don't have the capabilities to survive if, let's say, things don't go the way they want them to go, right? Like for instance, you know what I mean? When it comes to Hedera, I do believe that it's somewhat fail-proof. Now, I can't say that anything is 100% fail-proof because I don't think that exists in my opinion. But then this is almost like as close as it gets. At least that's the way you take a look at it. And when it comes to Hedera, it's not like it's necessarily bad either. If you actually take a look at it, even though the ecosystem isn't the largest, even though it doesn't have the most fans, the most hype, I do believe that it's heading in the right direction. Like we take a look at a very amazing, DeFi project on Hedera, which is called Saucer Swap. I'm very bullish on that. It's allegedly the first decentralized exchange to launch on Hedera. I really do, again, like Saucer Swap. So I think that when it comes to Hedera, it is heading in the right direction, even though it still has a ways to go. Stellar, I think, is just a lot more dynamic as of right now. But again, XLM, even though it's done very well as of late, much like HBAR, just because it's more established, market cap is higher, the room for growth really isn't that much when compared to HBAR. I'm not saying it's going to do bad. I think it's going to do great, but I think that when it comes to HBAR, it's going to do wonderful. So I think it's just a little bit better. At least that's the way I take a look at it. And with the bull run potentially being this massive, right? There's over 600 million crypto owners as of right now, according to Crypto.com research. You take a look at the number of institutional investors, the enterprise adoption, the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF. This bull run could be so amazing. It just takes time, though. Around 6 months to 10 months from right now, I think that it could totally be a different story. Now, again, my price prediction for XLM is anywhere between $5 to $8 during this bull run. When it comes to HBAR, I'm maintaining $3. But again, still even despite that, I think that HBAR just has more to prove as of right now. And that's why I think it's the winner here for me. Again, I'm not saying I'm going to go all in when it comes to HBAR. I've never done that. This whole time, I've been dollar cost averaging into HBAR. So anytime an income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. I'm not doing anything random or fancy like day trading using leverage or swing trading. I'm not doing any of that type of stuff whatsoever. Again, I just like to keep things very simple. But again, if someone were to ask me, hey, you can only put all your eggs into one basket for this bull run, HBAR or XLM, I'm going to say HBAR, right? I'm not talking about years ago. I'm talking about as of right now. So again, in this point in time, I think HBAR is the winner here for me. Now, that's not financial advice, and I'm not guaranteeing that HBAR is going to do well because, who knows, right? But when you take a look at the technology, when you take a look at the backing when it comes to Hedera, and also when you take a look at the exposure when it comes to HBAR, it's not like it's complete caca. It's no XLM, but it's listed in a bunch of major exchanges. And I think this is really going to benefit something like HBAR during a fully fledged bull run because take a look at why was Shiba Inu and Dogecoin so popular, right? It's because they were literally listed in pretty much a ton of exchanges to the point that people could easily FOMO into it. Like the buying pressure, the buying volume could be, insane during a fully fledged bull run if a project were to, let's say, be listed in a bunch of exchanges. It isn't a guarantee, but at least there's a possibility. So I like that when it comes to HBAR. At least that's the way I view it. If something caca like Luna Classic can pump, find a bottom, right? That has no future in my opinion. If something caca like Litecoin can pump, if something like Klima DAO can even find a bottom and have a resurgence in a sense, then why can't something like HBAR at least do okay, or should I say wonderful, during a fully fledged bull run? I just don't see why it wouldn't do that. And again, $3 during this bull run. That's my price target for HBAR, and I'm very excited and I can't wait. Just a waiting game. It is what it is, but I'm going to stay patient. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.